Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Iran, America, and Israel. What are they fighting about? There are currently 57 Islamic countries in the world, but why have America and Israel left all of them behind and only followed Iran? To fully understand this war between Iran and the United States, we must go back in time. World War II.
We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender!
During World War II, nations chose between two powers, the British Empire or Hitler's Germany. Most Islamic nations sided with Britain. But Iran's king Reza Shah shook hands with Hitler, a diplomatic bombshell. Iran and Germany grew close, and Britain saw red. In retaliation, British and Soviet forces invaded Iran in 1941. The Shah surrendered, and Britain gave him a choice: abdicate the throne or be erased. His 22-year-old son, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, because this son, Reza Shah Pahlavi, was a loyal puppet of the British government, was installed as the new king. Young, impressionable, and loyal to the West, he would become the face of Westernization in the Islamic world. The new Shah praised the West. He outlawed the hijab, closed Islamic schools and mosques, imprisoned clerics, and turned Iran into a hub for Western-style nightlife. Alcohol flowed freely in an Islamic country where drinking alcohol was banned. The new regime exports alcohol and seeks to erase Iran's religious identity, and Iranian culture was rebranded into a Western model. This king thought that he was doing a great job. The Iranian king called himself emperor. To the outside world, Iran looked modern, but inside it was boiling. The people hadn't forgotten their Islamic roots. The louder the music played in Tehran, the more voices began rising from the mosques. And one of those voices would shake the throne itself, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. Khomeini, a respected Islamic scholar, preached that Iran had lost its soul. His message: the Shah is a puppet of the West. Iran must return to Islam. Khomeini and his followers began inciting the people to revolt against the king. When Khomeini became very powerful and very popular with the people, the regime exiled him to Iraq. But exile only amplified his influence. His sermons were recorded on cassette tapes and smuggled into Iran, whispered words that roared louder than the Shah's guns. After which Khomeini left Iran and went to Iraq, where a young leader, Saddam Hussein, was watching Imam Khomeini's every move with great attention. Gradually, Saddam also began to fear Khomeini's growing popularity and power. One day Saddam Hussein said to the Iranian king, "If you want, I will eliminate Khomeini." But the king said, "I am not in any danger from this old man." That they began to consider Khomeini as a leader more than the king. But it was not easy to overthrow the king of Iran. The king had a powerful army and the full support of the United States. But then the king made the biggest mistake of his life. The Flames of Persia, the world's biggest and most expensive party. It was a party to which all the world's big celebrities and leaders were invited. The king of Iran wanted to revive the Persian Empire that had been destroyed by the Muslim Caliph Hazrat Omar years before. A new city was built in the Iranian desert for this party, and the king of Iran ordered 600 limousines for his guests, and food was served on gold plates. A new desert city built for the event, all while ordinary Iranians struggled to afford bread. After this party, the people of Iran began to turn more and more towards Khomeini's message. Khomeini announced after this party that the king of Iran is the Yazid of our time, the tyrant of Islamic history. The people agreed. The revolution began. Protests rocked the nation. Now the king understood that only America could save him. So he ran to the leaders of America and France. They said clearly, "No one can save you from Khomeini now." And the king fled, leaving Iran forever. As soon as Imam Khomeini learned that the Iranian king had fled the country, he returned to Iran after 14 years in exile. Khomeini returned to a hero's welcome. 7 million people lined the streets, a world record. Iran became the Islamic Republic, and almost immediately, hostility toward America and Israel erupted. Protesters stormed the U.S. embassy, taking 50 hostages. Khomeini said, "Until the U.S. returns the former king of Iran to us, we will not release these 50 prisoners." This is where the hostility between America and Iran began. But the Iranian king never returned to Iran. The chant, "Death to America," echoed across the globe. This was the birth of Iran's defiance, a government powered not by the West but by revolution, by ideology, by Islam, when Khomeini established the Islamic government. At the same time, Saddam Hussein also became the ruler in Iraq. The Arab world, fearing Iran's revolution would spread, urged Saddam Hussein to attack. Backed by the U.S., Saddam invaded. The Iran-Iraq War lasted 8 brutal years. Over 1 million lives lost. And still, Iran stood firm. A few years after the war ended, Imam Khomeini also passed away. Imam Khomeini's funeral was the largest funeral in the history of the world, attended by 10 million people, which is a Guinness Book of World Records. After the death of Imam Khomeini, the Iranian ministers proposed a new ruler, and after Imam Khomeini, his disciple Ayatollah Khamenei became the new supreme leader of Iran. He is the supreme leader of Iran to this day. After the war, Iran realized something. Resistance alone wasn't enough. They needed power. Nuclear power. Now Iran wanted the technology of an atomic bomb, but making an atomic bomb was not an easy task. It is a very complex and difficult technology, and at that time no country was willing to give this technology to Iran. But then a miracle happened. And that miracle happened through Pakistan. Iran's neighbor and Islamic country, Pakistan, performed the first Islamic nuclear explosion. And then its nuclear scientist, Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan, leaked uranium enrichment technology to Iran in secret. Pakistan's atomic bomb was acceptable to America because Pakistan was a loyal and trusted friend of America. And Pakistan, no matter what, could never go against America, but Iran's atomic bomb was not acceptable to America because it was America's #1 enemy. When the U.S. discovered Iran's nuclear plans, President George W. Bush labeled Iran part of the axis of evil. Then came the invasion of Iraq. America had a good opportunity to attack Iran because on the Iranian side there was American troops in Afghanistan, and on the other side Iraq was also full of American troops. Now the whole world was watching the Iranian supreme leader to see how he would save Iran from the superpower America. And then at that very moment, Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei issued a fatwa that making an atomic bomb is forbidden in Islam, because Islam does not allow killing children, the elderly, and women in war. And Islam is a religion of peace, so making atomic bombs is forbidden in Islam. And at the same time, he announced that Iran is not making atomic bombs. And he also said that any agency in the world can visit Iran and see that Iran is not making atomic bombs. The Iranian president opened nuclear facilities. But when the UN team inspected Iran, it was found that all of Iran's nuclear plants were built in the same way as Pakistan's nuclear plants. So the whole world understood that Iran had bought this technology from Pakistan. And so much pressure was put on Pakistan that Pakistani Dr. Abdul Qadir came on TV and admitted this and apologized to everyone. And Pakistan put Dr. Abdul Qadir under house arrest to please the world. After the fatwa of the Iranian president, the pretext for attacking Iran was gone. But Israel was repeatedly pressuring America to attack Iran. But America did not listen to Israel. But gradually the situation started changing. Meanwhile, Khomeini's nephew Mahmoud Mourad Khani is sitting in France and claiming that Iran's statement that the atomic bomb is forbidden is false. The statement of forbidden is a concept in Islam, under which one can tell such a lie to save his life through this concept, and the Iranian president has made this false statement to save his people. At the same time, America's suspicion of Iran also started to grow, and finally in 2009, America imposed severe sanctions on Iran. Before these sanctions, Iran's economy was quite good. But after these sanctions, the graph of Iran's economy fell very low. Due to these sanctions, Iran cannot sell its gas and oil to any country, even to Pakistan, with which it had a deal. And Pakistan, leaving behind cheap Iranian gas, buys gas from Qatar that is many times more expensive. There are only 3 countries that still do business with Iran, including China, Russia, and India. Due to these sanctions, Iran's economy collapsed so much that finally Iran made a nuclear deal with Obama that Iran would not build an atomic bomb, and in return, the United States would remove the sanctions on Iran so that Iran's economy could improve. The 2015 nuclear deal with President Obama provided temporary relief, but it didn't last. In 2018, President Donald Trump, under pressure from pro-Israel lobbying networks, withdrew from the deal and reimposed sanctions. Iran also restarted its nuclear program. In response, the United States killed Qasem Soleimani in a missile strike. After the killing of Qasem Soleimani, anger among the Iranian people against the United States began to grow. Shortly after the killing of Qasem Soleimani, elections were held in Iran, and the new president, Ebrahim Raisi, came, who was a very tough president of Iran, and was not ready to bow down to the United States and Israel under any circumstances. The new president Ebrahim Raisi said as soon as he came that Iran would now build an atomic bomb and there would be no deal with America. And at the same time, he started funding and arming all the groups fighting with Israel. But we know what happens to those who stand against America and Israel. Ebrahim Raisi was killed in a helicopter crash. In 2021, hardliner Ebrahim Raisi became president. He vowed to build the bomb and arm resistance groups against Israel. But in 2024, Raisi died in a mysterious helicopter crash. A moderate president followed. Secret talks with America resumed. Hope flickered. But Israel continues to warn. Iran is 1 month from the bomb. They've said that for 25 years. Meanwhile, Iran's scientists, diplomats, and negotiators keep getting assassinated. The goal? Force Iran to react, so the world can justify an invasion. So what is this really about? Not just bombs, not just oil. It's about resistance. Iran is the only Muslim country that openly challenges U.S. hegemony and Israel's unchecked power in the region. That resistance comes at a cost. Sanctions, isolation, sabotage, assassinations. But Iran's leaders believe that survival without submission is worth the price. This isn't just a geopolitical standoff. It's an ideological war between empire and independence, between dominance and defiance, between those who kneel and those who rise. And as long as Iran stands tall, the war, whether in shadow or in the open, will never truly end.